I was able to stack up 33,702 points for Damage Vaporizers during close scrutiny on Damn Battlegrounds. For my equipment, I brought in an anvil with a single stack of ammo, a Jupiter with a single stack of ammo, a light and a medium shield, 17 wolf packs, which essentially meant 17 vaporizer eliminations, a couple sets of herbal bandages and shield rechargers, a single stack of adrenaline shots, zip lines, snap hook, and a raider hatch key. Now I like Damn Battlegrounds for this challenge because very few raiders do it, which means you get to farm a lot of the vaporizers to yourself. The challenge with doing this trial on like Buried City is you're being contested for every vaporizer elimination, meaning you're only getting partial trials points for every vaporizer you take out. In this case, I got nearly 95% of every vaporizer I took out, allowing me to stack up a ton of damage while playing relatively safe. Now this strategy is ultra simple. It's essentially the same one that I use for Damage Rocketeers, and it involves the pipeline tower on Damn Battlegrounds. Now once you spawn in, you want to head for the pipeline tower. The closer you spawn to the pipeline tower, generally the better, but it won't matter a whole lot for this specific challenge. You just may need to take some vaporizers out on your way over if you spawn far away. Now the process here is really incredibly simple. All you're going to do is use the Jupiter, or you can substitute the Jupiter for a hole cracker to deal an initial amount of damage to the vaporizer and aggro it to you. Dealing enough damage will cause the vaporizer to use its shield, and then once that shield goes down, you just simply throw your wolf pack, and in most cases, the wolf pack will one-shot the vaporizer. Now, if you end up doing this challenge on Damn Battlegrounds, hopefully you'll have a better weather condition than I had. I had the foggy weather condition, which made the visibility pretty rough, and I wasn't able to see some of the deeper vaporizer spawns that I could normally see from the pipeline tower. In terms of the vaporizer spawns, you don't need to rely on the assessors to get it done, but just understand that this process overall is essentially slow and steady. You will have vaporizers that spawn at the power generation extraction, in the hydrodomes, and in the red lakes. Those are the three key vaporizer spawn locations that you want to rotate through and ensure you're picking up the eliminations for. Now, if you use the Jupiter like I did, I only brought in a single stack of ammo because each vaporizer elimination will give you a full stack of energy ammo if you loot the body. So for your first few vaporizer eliminations, you're going to want to make sure that you rotate out to wherever you take them out to pick up that energy ammo and get yourself flush with that for the rest of the match. Ideally, you want to take the vaporizer out while it's over the pipeline tower so that you can just loot the body on top of the pipeline tower itself and not have to rotate out. But it is not always easy to ensure that the vaporizer is directly overhead, especially because of how dangerous it can be when you get the enemy to path that way. So make sure you use your zip lines to go pick up the ammo off the bodies before other raiders get to it and take that ammo from you. Now, in terms of the process for how you want to handle the vaporizers on top of the pipeline tower, there are two big blue metal boxes that you want to use for cover. Keep in mind that these boxes are not a perfect cover. If the vaporizer uses its laser beam attack, you're not really protected a whole lot in this area. In general, once you hit the vaporizer the first time or the second time with your Jupiter, it will use its shield. And then once the shield comes down, that's when you want to use your wolf pack. In most cases, the wolf pack will one-shot the vaporizer, but if some of the wolf pack splits off for some reason, it doesn't deal full amount of damage and the vaporizer can still be alive. So make sure that you are playing from cover at all times, even though you're not really in danger, as long as that wolf pack does its job and takes the vaporizer out. Now, in terms of the scoring, one full vaporizer elimination will give you just about 2,000 points. If anybody else does any amount of damage to it, you will not get that full amount of points. So just be aware that you're going to see some fluctuation as other raiders deal damage. Now, you're going to come in with your bag pretty much extremely full, but as you start to exhaust your wolf packs, you're going to open up a lot of bag space that you can capitalize on. During some of the downtime which you're going to have throughout this, I would recommend looting the vaporizers for additional components that are super useful, like heavy weapon parts, or even the vaporizer regulator, which sells for a good amount of coins once you're back in Speranza. Now, beyond that, there really isn't a ton more to this challenge. It really is just a process of hitting the vaporizers from range, pulling them to you, and then using your wolf packs to take them out completely. Don't forget you can use a raider hatch and it will help you get back to Speranza, protecting your score. Once you've stacked up enough points and you're happy with your score, head back to Speranza, collect any loot if you haven't already, and watch your score fly up the leaderboard. That's going to be it for me today, y'all. Thanks for watching.